Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a 2v2 here on Fighting Spirit from the 2017 Holiday Bash for StarCraft. Day 9, InControl, Artosis, Tasteless, KawaiiRice, Sheth, all gathering together to celebrate StarCraft. And this is a replay from that. So, top right-hand corner here, we have the White Terran player. It is Artosis. And his teammate, bottom left, it is InControl, going by Barristan the Bold, which was his Bulldog. And in the bottom right, we have Team 2. It is the Orange Terran player, KawaiiRice, an American Terran player. And in the top left, it is the American Zerg player, Sheth. Okay, so it's 4 Americans on a 2v2 on Fighting Spirit. I got a replay pack from the Holiday Bash, but I don't think this replay was included. I got this off of bwreplays.com. So if you're ever wanting to find replays that I've cast, go to bwreplays.com and you will find them. And apparently this is from Artosis and InControl's perspective. Alright, so it's a ZT v ZT here for your Patreon cast this week. So very, very excited for this. Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. Thanks for supporting me for at least $1 a month out there, Brood War fans. If you're seeing it the week of August the 28th. If you're seeing it about a month after that, then hey, hello YouTube. You can see these 1 month before anybody else can. Well, not anybody else, just, you know, Patreon supporters. $1 a month. That's all it takes. Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. My microphone's being a little bit janky today. I don't know what it is. If I get too close to it or I have the volume turned up too high on the input for the mic, it gets a little scratchy, and it's not crazy bad, but I can hear it and I hate it. So I'm trying to stay a little bit further away from the mic. I'm a little bit more reserved because the louder I get, the worse it is. So if you notice something, let me know. We'll talk about it. I'm trying to get it fixed. Anywho, got a macro hatch coming up here. Not actually expanding low ground here InControl, which, by the way, rest in peace, Jeff. We miss ya. I mean, one of the best, biggest, brightest stars of the StarCraft community, Brood War and StarCraft 2. I don't know if he'll ever be replaced, but we miss him. He was great, and I like to remember him by casting games that he played, and this is one of those from 2017, December times, because it was the Holiday Bash, right? Holiday season. For some of the world. Not all of it, obviously, but I'm really shocked he didn't take this. I mean, it's the same thing up here, though. Sheth doesn't even have a second hatch. He's going 1 base lair, which is basically ZVZ strats. I think he's going to try to kill InControl here sooner rather than later. We can red versus blue this, can't we? Yeah, we can. Can we handle 4 colors here if it's red and white for one team? I feel like we can. I love this creep colony too. Ooh, can it sunken up in time to stop these lings? It's okay. I think the lings can buy enough time. The defensive lings can buy enough time to where the sunken's going to finish. But I love this 2 hatch play. It means he can make more lings, obviously, than Sheth can. But the lair timing is definitely faster for Sheth as a result. So his mutas are going to come out, but he didn't die to Zerglings. Maybe a counterattack of lings. Maybe we can kill Sheth with these lings before we get too far into this thing. 2v2s are a little disappointing when somebody dies early. Z is dead, says InControl. Super fast lair, says Artosis. He calls the GG. Whoa! Is that accurate? We do have a sunken coming up. That's going to help a lot, but not if the lings kill it before it pops, which absolutely they're going to try to do. Drones are fighting. I'm not sure if there are enough drones. This sunken's going to pop, though. That's humongous that the sunken finishes. A lot of drones are getting focused down by these lings. The drone count for Sheth, it is not good. He's not dead, but you know what? He's not quite alive either. I mean, he's at 10 total supply. InControl's at 17, because this is Zerg for you. They're going to be lower on the total supply because they're constantly throwing drones at buildings for tech structures and for defense and for whatever else. Get the Zerg. InControl's like, you know what I'm doing? 2-port Wraith. Oh yeah, baby. Artosis going 2-port Wraith here. He's going to try to kill. Oh, he's going to try to kill Sheth. Sheth, buddy, you might need some anti-air sooner rather than later, but guess who's showing up? KawaiiRice, who has been fairly quiet in this game. We haven't heard him say anything because we don't have the replay from his perspective. But he's going to try... Wow, I kind of like this. Dude, if you run in with these vultures now and just get in this area, InControl is in so much hurt. Like in a world... Oh, he's pulling out. Why would you... KawaiiRice, there are times in everybody's life when you actually just have to go, man. He's not going. And I mean, you might get blocked. Now there's 2 Sunkens. It's harder now. The window is closed. I talk about this a lot, but the window of when you can attack is so massive. Oh, Scourge are here, though. Scourge are here, though. Sheth barely getting these out in time. This is a good match. All right, so now, look. Now there's 2 Sunkens, and now you can't get up the ramp. You had this many vultures like a minute ago, and there was only 1 Sunken, and there's only a handful. Oh, that would have been... I don't know how InControl survives that, but as a result... He's okay because KawaiiRice waited. Scouting barracks here from KawaiiRice because he is going mech because you know it's really good against both enemy Terran players and enemy Zerg players is mech. I assume, I mean, that's... no, we're just going mass Wraith, man. Artosis is like, just heck with mech. Let's go all of the Wraith in the known universe. Scourge heading up from InControl towards Sheth's base. Evolution chamber here because he wants a spore. Like, there we go. So he's getting a spore so we can actually leave. The Scourge aren't going to really find much to do. It doesn't really make sense a lot economically to try to take out Overlords with Scourge. But I mean, if there's nothing else, maybe you try to supply block your enemy Zerg player. I don't know. But now there's a spore out. Okay. Scourge. The Wraiths fighting here. The Mutas want nothing to do with this. The Wraiths want nothing to do with the single spore, by the way. Oh, okay. The Scourge all die. Great control. They're out of Sheth. The Mutas, there's not enough, man. This Wraith count is nuts. Kind of like it. Meanwhile, Mutas over from InControl are in KawaiiRice's base because you know what? He doesn't have anti-air. He's made nothing but vultures today with spider mines all over the place, mind you. They're doing great work. But also they can't shoot up. And finally, he's able to make a couple Goliaths, which, yes, that's enough to handle this number of Mutalisks. 3, 5, yeah, 5 Mutas against 3 Goliaths. Not going to work out for the Mutas there. But hey, we're 7 minutes in. Nobody's dead yet. The Zerg players have not expanded. There's an attempt at expanding here, but I don't actually know if this is going to work out super well for InControl. I'm trying to predict this here. He does kind of chase the vultures away. I think, again, there was a window where I think they could have maybe taken it down, but their damage versus buildings is not good. So perhaps that's not the case at all. Again, Mutas from the Zerg players. It's really just Wraith production out of Artosis today. I got Cloak. I got the Cloaks. KawaiiRice on the other end barely gets his Goliaths out. He's making Goliaths now, though, because he's like, all right, look. My enemy went mass Wraith. Goliaths are going to be good. My other enemy is going Mutalisks. Goliaths will be fine, thank you. You know, what would also be good is maybe some Irradiate, but you don't have a science fest or science facility yet. Nobody's expanded yet except for InControl, who is trying to sneak out a second base here at 8 minutes. Team Games, man, they're aggressive. They are very scary to expand with, and this is why Zerg players aren't super good. They're not super good in 2v2s in team games. Because when everyone's on one base, Zerg players are at a disadvantage. So InControl trying to get an advantage with a second base here, where he will be on even footing with his enemy Terran and be a base up on Sheth here. APMs for everybody is over 200. We're fighting pretty hard right now. Again, all these players have won money playing StarCraft, so obviously they're all pretty good. I mean, this isn't super duper high level Korean insanity for Door, but hey. Man, so the Mutas are trying to fight with their Wraith buddies. The Wraiths are cloaked. So that means the Mutas are taking all the hits, which is a bit of a problem here. Dude, he has a turret over here. Does he have any scans? No, he doesn't have any even scans available. God, Mutas defending Artosis' base up this way. Again, this one turret saving grace for KawaiiRice right now. Saving grace. I remember KawaiiRice made the transition in StarCraft 2. I used to watch a bunch of his stuff back in 2010. I think he is pretty much gone at this point, unfortunately. 2 Marines in that bunker. I don't know if that's enough to stop this Mutalisk block. He's gonna tell you right now, I'm not sure that it's enough. And then the Wraiths show up, and suddenly the Mutas have to get out of there. I mean, these are Wraiths. Very specialized units, man. Yeah, just sniping down overlords. I like this Wraith control. There's really... The problem with Wraiths and Mutalisks is if you don't babysit them enough, they will run into something that will just massacre all of them, and then you'll be very sad. But if you control them well enough, they are pretty good. Especially, again, if you have a teammate who can cover ground stuff, like InControl is. He's got queens out. Dude, InControl, though. He's doing all right here, I gotta say. He's on 2 bases, which again is more than anybody has, although Artosis has a natural base out now too. So the Artosis InControl team doing pretty fantastic. I could use a tank or two. Oh, a tank would be my guess. If you can get across, which difficult thing to pull off, man. I think they're trying to kill InControl, which again would be the good deal. I think they can handle Artosis' Wraiths as long as InControl is not involved in anything here. I want to infest a Kawaii command center at some point. InControl kind of playing around a little bit. Loving that. Here we go. Goliaths fighting against these Mutas. Really wrecking them quite heavily here. The Sunken's doing a good job against the Goliaths, but you know what? Goliath output for damage is better than Marine damage. Okay, so, oh, there's your scan, and the Wraiths got to get out of there. Because the Mutas will wreck them, and the Goliaths will wreck them. Does he have Spawn Broodling? He doesn't have energy for it anyway. Does he have Ensnare? I don't know what these Wraiths are for, other than for potential infestation targets. This is crazy talk right now. So the natural base for InControl is toast. I don't think there's any saving it, really. I mean, is he out of scans? Is that why he's not sticking around to kill this hatch? He must be. Oh, yeah, I mean, yes, obviously he is. Another comsat would be incredible. The problem, you can't really make a science vessel because these Wraiths will just kill them super duper fast. This is an intense game. This is some really nice back and forth. Nobody's died yet at 12 minutes, which is more than I could ask, honestly, for a 2v2, is it be straight up even after 12 minutes of gameplay. Adrenal glands coming in from InControl. On the other side, what is Sheth up to? He's never really replaced his drone count, unfortunately. He has 9. He's trying to expand, which fairly safe to do considering InControl has spent most of his resources on queens at the moment. So that's exciting stuff. Double Evo coming up, I'm guessing, for upgrades for his... for his something. Yeah, man. If the Wraiths aren't here, their annoying cloakiness is not present. Ooh, Spawn Broodling is done. He's having to use his Spawn Broodlings on Goliaths, which is not exactly great. Not a totally great use of energy, and it's not really going to make a big deal here anyway. I think this hatch is dead, would be my guess. I mean, okay, so the Wraiths have showed up again. They're going to make quick work of the Mutas. Scans are available. Dang, see how fast that Wraith died? Dude, if we can get Queens and Goliaths and Wraiths in the same screenshot, that will be the screenshot. I want you guys to know what you're signing up for when you watch this thing. And then, man, this is so insane right now. Man, the Wraiths just not happy. The Queens in varying stages of unhappy, and the natural base does go down for InControl, so he's on 1 base now. Meanwhile, Sheth's natural has popped. He's made another drone. He's up to 10 workers, which is good, I guess. This is such a weird, unorthodox game, and I love it so much. So much right now. This has been extremely entertaining. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it so far, by the way. Looks like KawaiiRice is going to try to take a base for himself at a natural. Artosis might just have to be the savior of this game, honestly. Making tanks, got vultures. There's really not much anti-air at this stage of the game. InControl got some lings out, man. But mutas are in the neighborhood. They could probably save this hatch. I mean, it's adrenal gland lings, which is exceptionally scary stuff, but mutas do really well against lings. So the Zerglings are all dead. And now that you have tanks, the Goliaths are a little bit obsolete is the problem here. I like that Artosis has left a couple of race to defend and control his main. Sending you tanks, says Artosis, because typing is hard when you're playing StarCraft. You don't have available APM to type perfectly all the time, it turns out. Oh my gosh. Remember when we were sending you tanks? I remember that. And all the tanks are dead. So Artosis throws out a lull, because he knows what's happening here. Ensnare happens, but not enough to save the tanks, unfortunately. Gosh, the scans, though. Oh, the scan and snare. Oh, get down in here. It's hard to get a screenshot, y'all. I'm just going to state this for the record. It's difficult. Yeah, says InControl. Dude, are Sheth and KawaiiRice going to win this thing? It wasn't looking good for them for some time, but I like the position they're in right now. KawaiiRice has 65 supply. I mean, Artosis is 110. So, like, Artosis, first of all, is going to take down Sheth's natural base with vultures, which is a problem for Sheth. But the fact that InControl doesn't have a natural base either, Zerg players are on even footing. It's nice. More Ensnare, which does reduce the attack rate of the Mutalisks. It reduces the attack rate of most units that it affects, but not all of them. If you have a really slow attack rate already, like, for example, I don't know, a siege tank, it's not going to actually affect your fire rate. But here comes Artosis. He's going to come put the smack down up here on KawaiiRice. There's just not enough. I mean, he has a big, scary mech army, which, you know, tanks are going to win you TVTs, and tanks are going to win you TVZs as well. You are a god, says InControl. And you know what? It's true. The transition from the wraiths into the tanks was really nice. You know what the weakness to the strategy, though, is? Well, it's going to be Mutalisks. So we got InControl donating some Scourge up here to try to deal with these mutas. The controlled can't is okay. It's enough, I think, to save the day here. Meanwhile, Queens, I don't even know what they were doing, honestly, in the top left, other than scouting, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so the tanks are out. The mutas are present. Get a CC on fire. Oh, there's one that's on fire, but it's not. It needs to be in the orange or red before you can infest it. Ensnare on these mutas to keep these queens alive. This is amazing. KawaiiRice transfers some SCVs into the mineral line of doom over this way, and then it lifts. I don't know if he's going to get it. I know he wants it, but that's not far enough in the damage. And there's nothing that can affect this command center either. There's nothing that can hit it, unfortunately. So the queens are going to go ahead and spawn Bruling whatever the heck they want to. There's a third base running for Artosis, by the way. So, yeah, Artosis is the MVP of this match, without question. By the way, Artosis does have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel. If you want to check him out, he streams a lot on Twitch. He uploads to YouTube regularly. I'll put links to his channels in the description. You should definitely check him out. I'll get it on fire now. I have Goliaths and a big, scary Terran army. Yeah, this is 106 supply for Artosis. The Zerg players are at 31 supply each, and KawaiiRice is at 46. This is just not. This is not viable. Like, maybe if it was a 3v3 or a 4v4, Artosis would not be overwhelmingly just favored at the moment. But he is. He definitely is. And there we go. No, hey, Goliath, you actually have to hit the thing, though. And there is your infested command center. Got an infested command center up that way. We have Ensnare on the left side. We got Wraiths in the mix. We have Mutalisks trying to kill these siege tanks. He's making infested Terrans, everybody. Much to the joy and consternation of some. Joy for some, consternation for others. And KawaiiRice taps out. No, but our infested Terrans, though. Wait. No. Wait. The taunting. The taunting, though. This game was like, hey, we're going to make an infested command center, and then they did. I'm going to make infested Terrans, and then it got to this. Do you see this? See how close we were to infested Terran gloriousness, and it was robbed from us because the other team GG'd out too fast? I wanted to see infested Terrans, and I'm sure you did too, but no, it was not to be. There have been games like this before, where we've been teased with the possibility of infested Terrans, and then nope. Nope, at the last second, the game is over, no infested Terrans, you lose. Or the command center gets killed, no infested Terrans, you lose. Rough stuff indeed, but really, really fun 2v2. Again, unorthodox strategies. Who opens Mass Wraith? Well, you can if you're in a 2v2. The poor Zerg players, though. I mean, Sheth had a natural base for about 4 seconds. InControl's natural was pretty healthy for some time. But nobody could really slow down Artosis at all. Nobody really super mega bothered him. They were too busy trying to... I mean, neither of the Terrans really took serious hits until the end there for KawaiiRice. They really wanted to make sure the Zerg players did not get up and get healthy, and they never did. They never did. InControl, though, was ahead enough that he was able to make a bunch of Wraiths, or Queens, and it worked out. So I think that just goes to show how well InControl is playing in this game at the same time. So, yeah, that was, dang, that was quite a thing. Yeah, I didn't expect Artosis and InControl to win this game, honestly. Sheth, pretty good player. KawaiiRice, pretty good player. But at the end of the day, Artosis just was too much for everybody on the other team, and that was that. All right, what are we looking at here? Total of 76,000 points for Artosis, 71,000 for InControl, and then in the 60s, we have KawaiiRice and Sheth here. Units killed fairly even across the board. KawaiiRice killed significantly more than anybody else. His Goliath did some serious work in that game, which was nice. On the other side, KawaiiRice killed a bunch of buildings. InControl lost 14 buildings. As Zerg, that's kind of hard to do. But he got wrecked a little bit there, but was able to win in the end with his queens and his spawn broodling. And then Artosis, just more economy than anybody else, which allowed him to get up the army that he needed to win the thing. So, hoorah! And you know what? That's gonna be it from me. So, this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw, what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.